Okay, everybody. Hey, hey, hey. So I just want to say happy Saturday to you. Going live for the first time over here on both Facebook and YouTube. If you are a subscriber, you get an added bonus over here. So make sure that you grab a pen and paper over here. I'm just going to go over a couple of things real quick for you on my first ever live streaming. One of the questions that I get asked all the time is how is it that I can make my local business more visible in my market? And it's an excellent question. The the reality is your competition is not nearly as good as they think that they are. That's great news for you. But how do you set yourself apart? If you are sitting in your office on a Saturday morning, you're probably doing bookkeeping. You're probably going through there and trying to get caught up with all the, invoices and payables and receivables. And you hit this wall on a Saturday and you say, what can I do to attract more customers into my business? I want to talk to you about that. Local marketing is the key. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a quick presentation. And when I say quick presentation, what I really mean is a really quick presentation. I don't want to take up a lot of your time over here. Local marketing is a huge myth. Whenever I talk to, especially home service pros over here, they think, oh, I don't want to do marketing. Everything that I do is word of mouth. And I think that the common problem is they don't really understand what it is. So when I ask them what their marketing plan is and things like this, they mention things that you see right here on this list. They mention paid ads, or they mention social media posting, or SEO, or email marketing, and all the rest of the stuff on this list. But that's not what marketing is. Those are strategies that people take to make their businesses more visible. So what are the actual strategies? What is marketing, and what do you need to think about as a local business owner? Local marketing is nothing more than positioning your products or your services in such a way that people that would gladly pay for them can find them if they only knew that you existed. It seems like it might be oversimplified, right? But the reality is that's really all marketing is. It's just making people. So if you're a plumber, somebody who needs drain cleaning needs to be able to find a near me, and most of them will go on Google. Some of them have got a sticker from a previous plumber, either on a water heater or something like this. That is also marketing. But for most people, it's this right here. You go into Google uh, and you search plumber near me. And on plumber near me, you're going to have the local service ads on top. Then you have the paid ads down below that. Then you have this section over here, which is the local map pack, the top three businesses for businesses that are near me for the particular thing that I just searched. And 70% of people searching for your business, whether you are a hair salon or nail salon or a med spa, somebody's looking for some Botox, or if you're a plumber, a roofer, a dentist, 70% of people that have a local intent are going to scroll past all this other stuff, and they're going to come right down here and they're going to contact one of these three businesses. Now, these things are all tied off of your Google business profile. And if you have a Google business profile that, and I've heard this so many times before, the thing that they're concerned with is that it's only for getting reviews. I need a place that people can give me reviews. Then you're really missing out on the most important part, and that is making yourself available into this section over here. And that means being active and having the right information posted. And so once you get into the map pack over here, there's other things that psychologically people look at. Like they're going to look at the number of reviews. I have one for 257, one for 1100, and one for 385. They're also going to be looking at actually how close that they are. But for each of these, they can click through and then they can take a look at the Google Business Profile. That's what they do when they click here. And then they're going to take a look at the different information that is on the profile. And they're going to decide based on the reviews. If they come through here and they look at reviews, and then they're going to take a look at the newest reviews that they have. And they're going to say, okay, what's the most recent history on it? So all of this is pretty common stuff. It's pretty understandable, but you have to be current with it. So today's lesson is a couple of weeks ago, WhiteSpark, who normally puts out an annual report for the top ranking factors, they put out their ranking factors for Google Business Profiles and for local SEO and everything else for 2026. And the way that WhiteSpark goes through there and does this is they have a list of, I think this year was 47 or so professionals in the industry that they send a survey to. And they say, based on your experience, how would you rank this in order of priority? What's the most important to the least important ranking factors, in this case for a Google Business Profile? And to make you both excited and a little bit overwhelmed, if you scroll down this list, you'll see that there are 187 different ranking factors that these 47 professionals that are doing testing, that they have a bunch of clients, that they do A/B testing to see, does this work better or does this work better? They come through there and they compile this list from the professionals, and then they rank it based on those results. Now, I will tell you that based on my experience, I don't use this as set in stone, come down off the mountain as the most important things. But I think out of the top 10, I would probably include 8 of those 10 for my own business and how I take care of my customers. So here's what we're going to do today. We are going to take a look at just one item from their list. The most important, number one on their list, is the primary GBP category. This is the most important thing. And the reason primary category is the most important thing is because Google looks at 3 things. Now, keep in mind, I do want to say this. This WhiteSpark report is not information that's been derived from Google. It's derived because Google doesn't put out that information. It's derived from experts that have experience in this area. Google says there's 3 main things that you need to focus on in order for your Google Business Profile to rank right here in the top section of the Google local ranking. Okay, and the number one thing that WhiteSpark is pointing out is your primary GBP category. Google says you need 3 things to focus on. The number one is relevance. How relevant is your business to the thing that the person is searching for? Proximity. How close are you to the person that is searching? And then finally, it is prominence. How well established are you in your community? Are there other, are you with the Better Business Bureau, on Yelp? Are you on all these different areas other than just on Google? Can Google find you other places? Are you a real business doing business in this particular area? So with that in mind, if somebody is looking for sorry, my phone is, please hold just a second. Reports confirm that the primary Yep. My phone just wants to tell me all about, because whenever I mention the word Google, they go crazy. My phone does. Sorry about that. So WhiteSpark is saying this. They're saying the number one thing that's most important is the primary category. And this just means if somebody is looking for a plumber, the barber isn't going to show up in that section. And the reason that I wanted to talk about it is I think that there are some misconceptions, or people are not handling this the right way. So let's go to one of my profiles. As a matter of fact, I'll go to my own profile, which by the way has been disabled. But it makes it easier for me. Google right now thinks that I'm an online only business. They don't realize that I have a number of local clients. So my business, I'm on the wrong thing. Sorry about that. Hang on. If you ever want to find your Google business profile, as long as you're logged into Google, if you do My Business, you will be able to find yourself, and then you just click on it and boom, you're into your profile. Now, how do you change your information within it? How do you check and update your uh, primary category? What White Spark and what I think every marketing person that does local SEO knows to do. In this case over here, once you go into your business information, you have the business category. And how do you change it is you've got to make sure that you have the most relevant thing that your business wants to show for. And I'll give you an example over here. If you are a local dentist, look at all these different categories over here. You can choose just dentist, or you can choose a very, very specific part of dentistry that you really want to show for. If all you do is you choose a dentist, but you're really a pediatric dentist, you just want to show for, kids dentistry, you're going to miss the opportunity. You can have a really good, one of my clients over here recently came to me, and it was summertime in Arizona, and they had a heating contractor as their primary category, and they couldn't understand why they weren't showing right. Well, yes, during the wintertime, they are a heating contractor, but during the wintertime, they're either going to be focused on AC repair or HVAC contractor. And so that's how important this primary category is. Look at all these different options right here just for a dentist. You got to make sure that you choose. You're telling Google, this is the most important thing that I want to be found for. Remember, it's relevance, proximity, and prominence. So that relevance is if I am a periodontist, but all I have in my primary category is dentist, I'm going to miss out on those opportunities for periodontics does the implants and things like this, right? And so make sure that your primary category is set properly. Now we're into the end of November. This week we're coming into Thanksgiving in 2025. So if you are a roofer, more than likely you're going to want to switch on over to, let's just kind of see, because Google does change these all the time. And that's why you also have to keep up on it. Let's just see, roofer, you have roofing contractor, roofing supply store, waterproofing. Let's go like this. More than likely, you might be in gutter. You're doing gutter cleaning. It's the fall. It's the end of the fall. People have got a bunch of leaves that are in their gutters. You might want to switch for a few month period of time rather than roofer. Switch on over to gutter. I'm not saying you want to do that, but look at on a plumber situation. With a plumber is just going to be a general plumber for all things. But what if all you want to do is install water softeners? Well, if you have plumber, you'll be found over there, but you won't necessarily be number one unless you go to a water softening equipment supplier. This would be a more relevant primary category for you. So with all of that said, there are some minor changes that you can make here on a Saturday to help you rank a little better. And most of your competitors are going to use their Google business profiles as a set it and forget it strategy. They're going to go in there and they're going to say, I'm a plumber, and they'll never look at it again. Or I'm an HVAC contractor and I'll never look at it again. But as seasons change, your business may change. Instead of, maybe you're in the northeast part of our country over here and you're a landscaper. Well, maybe you need to change to snow removal during this time of year. Because when a business is needing, a snow removal for their parking lot, most of them will not look for a landscaper. They're going to look for snow removal. So I think I made my point over here. Marketing is just a matter of positioning your business in such a way that people that would gladly pay you money can find you. And the number one place, 70% of people with local intent are going to go to Google, and they're going to go right down to the map section. So there's a number of other things that I'll be covering over future Saturdays over here. Like my channel, subscribe to it, follow me for more information. If you would like to just drop some comments, I will be going through them later on and answering any comments that come on up. But this is my first go at going live, so hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you walked away with something over here. I look forward to seeing you in the future. Take care now.